Having a loser mentality is one of the worst things you can do to yourself because it permeates every aspect of your life. Loser mentality, what is a loser mentality? It's a state of mind in which you are the victim. It's like victim mentality, but to the next level. You have internalized that you are so victim that everything goes and will go wrong for you, and thus you have accepted and internalized your own lameness. And now you may feel like you are stuck in a circle because what you think and what you feel create your reality, and you attract what you think and what you feel. So now you may be stuck in a circle because you are always attracting more of that bad situations. The reason you have loser mentality is because you don't know, or you no longer know who you are. You lack self-awareness. And of course, trauma and abuse are circumstances that can create or can participate in this loser mentality, because sometimes if you have experienced abuse and disrespect in your life, maybe you have internalized that disrespect in your life, and now you have internalized it as your true identity when it's not. That's why it's so much more important to you to heal and don't take this burden anymore with you, to heal and stop the pain right now. Why is it so important to know yourself? Knowledge is power. Self-knowledge is self-empowerment. If you know your virtues, you will be confident. If you are confident and you love yourself and you know your virtues, you will rely on yourself more. And on the other hand, if you know your uglier traits, you can work on them, you can improve them, you can create or become a better version of yourself. They go hand in hand. Having a deep understanding and a deep awareness of yourself is the base for self-love. If you don't have knowledge of yourself, how can you love yourself? And if you want to know more about how to love yourself, you can watch my video titled Step-by-Step Guide to Love Yourself. What are the traits of a person that lacks self-awareness? First of all, they lack drive. They don't have drive in their life. They're living on autopilot. Like maybe by now, you may experience in your life that everything that you do is always constantly the same routine. Like it's a constant set of internalized behaviors that you are repeating every day. And now you go to work, you do everything the same stuff because you feel like you have to do. And that has translated into a lack of meaning in life, a lack of ambition. You are stuck in that circle. Like maybe you are stuck in your 9 to 5 and you have internalized it. You are like, it's okay, this is what I know, this is what I have, this is what I do, but you're not questioning it anymore. You are stuck in that and you are like, okay, maybe that's life for me. And honey, it's not life for you. You can always change, but you have to decide to change. Another trait of a person that lacks self-awareness is that they enroll in bad habits to cope with life, to cope with all the other traits of a loser mentality. So maybe you abuse alcohol, or you abuse smoking, or you abuse gambling, or you are always on social media, or any of that things. And we all have little vices, but everything in extreme is poison. So this is another trait that you may be stuck in a loser mentality. The third trait of a person that is stuck in a circle of loser mentality is that they are pessimists. You are always thinking, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is not gonna work for me, this is not gonna work for me, this has happened in my life, this other thing had happened, and you are constantly the victim. You are stuck in victim mentality. You think everything has gone wrong for you all your life, so you have assumed that now it's more of the same, and you are a pessimist, super pessimist. Also, self-pity, like poor little me, this thing happened, blah blah blah, this other thing happened, I'm so little, I'm so unlucky, poor little me. And as I said in my last video, the only person that is a poor little me is the one that has given up on themselves. So I suspect if you're watching this that you are not given up with yourself, and so I'm proud of you. They don't challenge themselves. They have stopped challenging themselves. So this goes hand in hand with all the other traits that we have spoken about. Like if you are stuck in your self-pity, if you are using bad habits to cope with your life, you're a pessimist and you lack drive, meaning, ambition, all the other traits, then it's only normal that you have stopped challenging yourself. You are like, this is my life, it's okay, and then you're not going for new things. And if you don't challenge yourself, don't push yourself, that it's a natural state for the human being. The natural state of the human being is to look for constant evolution. It's nature for us. I will be always evolving in my life. This is what I seek, this is what I look for, this is what I'm working on. And if you don't challenge yourself anymore and you don't do little things, you don't know if you will achieve them or not. So you're always in a flat line. And if you don't challenge yourself, how can you trust yourself then? Because if you're challenging yourself even in the littlest of things, then when you achieve them, you will be proud of yourself and you will love yourself more, you will rely on yourself more, and then ultimately you will be more confident. How do we get rid of loser mentality for good? So I'm sorry to break this to you like this way, but nobody's born a loser. You have made yourself one. You have to accept it, and then you have to undo what you have done. The first step is accepting it. Accept your situation, whatever the situation is. Just accept it from a neutral standpoint. Like, this is my situation. You don't have to judge it. You don't have to be, it's so bad, it's so good, whatever. It's like, you have been fired from your job. Okay, this is my situation now. This is where I'm standing. And later, we will work on that, from that. But now, accept your situation. Like, okay, I'm here. This is where I'm at. So maybe, I don't know, you are broke or whatever, or your significant other left you or whatever. Okay, this is my situation. This is where I'm at now. Neutral. Try not to judge it, because you have judged it until now so much. So now that you're working on yourself, finally, don't judge it. Just accept it from a neutral standpoint. This is where I'm at. This is the starting point to your new life. But you have to start somewhere, you know? Also accept that you have to do it yourself. No one's here to save you. We're old enough to know that. You have to do it yourself. You have to commit to yourself. This is the first step. If you're watching this video, I'm proud of you. This is your first step to change. This is the first step. So accept it without judging it. Know that you have to do it, commit to yourself, and get moving on. So now that you have accepted it, that you know what your situation is, you have to make a decision. You have to choose whether you want to change or not. If you don't change, you stay in the same situation that you are now, and everything will remain the same. You will be stuck in the same situation that before, with your lame ass work, lame ass loving relationship, whatever you are stuck in right now. But if you decide to change, if you choose to change, you will see a new life. This is the start of your new life. You have to decide to change. If you don't, it's okay, go back to your lame life. But if you want to change, now you have to reverse all the bad habits, the pessimism, the lack of drive, the self-pity, everything that comes along with a lameness mentality, with a loser mentality. You have to reverse it. It's not easy, I know, it's not easy, but it's worth it, and you will flourish. Now that you have invested in yourself and you have made the decision to invest in yourself and to change, and you have committed to yourself, I'm proud of you for that. We can get practical. There are 2 areas of work that can get you out of this loser mentality, and I've categorized them in shadow work and improvement work. even though there are little differences between them that I will explain in a minute, but this will surely get you out of that state. What is shadow work? The human shadow is a part of ourselves that we have committed to our subconscious mind, that we have put them, that we are not aware of. It's like something that maybe growing up you were not allowed to say something, you were ashamed to say something, you were ashamed to speak up for yourself, or you were punished for some things, and now you have put all those circumstances and all those traits into your subconscious mind. So the process of shadow work is shedding light into what is in dark. And not necessarily everything that you will find in your shadow side of self is necessarily a bad thing. You can find in doing shadow work that you are a really creative person, but you didn't realize or wasn't aware of that before, because maybe you, as I said, you weren't allowed to speak up for yourself growing up, and now you have realized that you have a voice that you can use to share knowledge with others or share art or whatever. But also you can find traits that you have suppressed, and for example, you may think that you are an angry person, and later on working on your anger, you maybe find that maybe growing up you have felt like people were not wearing fair to you, being fair to you, or that you weren't heard, or that you weren't acknowledged, or that you were made to think that your ideas didn't matter, or you weren't taken into consideration, or you were putting down all the time. And now you have anger inside of yourself, and you may think, you may categorize yourself as a angry person. But if you do shadow work and you go deeper and deeper inside yourself, you may think, you may realize that that anger is covering something more, some sadness, some feeling of being left alone and whatever. How do we do shadow work? It's a work that has many layers. It's not something that you can do in a day or in a week or in a month. It takes time, and you are not, remember, you are not a finished product, and you will never be. I myself seek to be constantly improving, as I told you before. So shadow work, you can start by acknowledging your current situation, your how you are feeling right now, or it doesn't have to be in this moment, maybe it can be yesterday. So for example, with the example of the anger, you can start by feeling your anger, sit with your anger, don't judge it, just feel the feeling. Where is it sitting in your body? Where do you locate it? Where is it? Where did you feel it? Maybe you feel in your throat, maybe you feel stuck in your throat, maybe you feel a knot in your stomach or whatever. Just take note of that internally, and later you can go on and think, where is it moving? Where is it moving? Where is my anger going as we are breathing? Where do I feel it now? Has it transformed into something else? Where do I feel it? And you can start to ask yourself, and also it's also really important what I did to heal myself back in, I mean, I've been working on myself for so long now, but I keep a journal since 2002, since I was, I don't know, 14 years or something, and I kept a journal, and I constantly was working on myself. And if you take notes of all of this that I'm saying, where's your anger, how I'm feeling today, where is my anger going, also why did I feel this anger today, what was the trigger, what was the trigger the day before, the other day that I felt anger, what was the trigger, and you can start to see a pattern in that anger, and then you can go backwards and you will know where does it stem from. You will see a pattern, you will see that your anger maybe mean something else or any other feeling you can do that, and then you can start healing it. By knowing it, you can start healing it. And there are also many meditations to do shadow work. And then when you have located the feeling, the anger, I feel anger because I was neglected as a child and I was not able to speak up for myself, or I felt not seen, whatever it is. You can do a meditation to heal your inner child. There are lots of them, and if you want me to do one, I can record one for you. And now that we have spoken about shadow work, we can then speak about improvement work. That are mostly similar terms, but the little difference for me is that shadow work is healing, improvement is moving forward. So by improvement work, I mean, now that you know what the situation is or whatever, we can create a new situation for ourselves. It's like moving forward. They go hand in hand. Shadow work, one cannot work without the other, but you can do that together. It's like a whole package. And for example, I don't know if you're familiar or not with the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza, and if you're not, I highly suggest you that you do. I've enrolled in some courses of his, some online courses and also meditations, and I can guarantee you they are life-changing. And what Dr. Joe Dispenza says, sorry, I'm out of breath. Dr. Joe Dispenza says that how you think, how you act, and how you feel create your personality, and your personality creates your personal reality. So in order for you to change your personal reality, you have to change your personality. That literally means you have to become something new. You have to change your energy, change your thoughts, change your patterns to create a new reality for yourself. And then you will see a new life. It will be tangible for you. Because right now you have been delusional towards the wrong thing. You have been delusional towards self-hatred, and you have to do it all the other way around. You have to be delusional about your positive things. Dr. Joe Dispenza has lots of meditations about it. I mean, this video obviously is not sponsored by that. I'm only speaking for my own experience, but I highly suggest you one of his meditations, because he's so thorough. He goes, obviously he's a neuroscientist and he knows the science of the brain, how the brain operates, how brain waves operate, and he has specific meditations in which you can rehearse. He says it's really important to rehearse your day, how you not rehearse how your day was. Think how your day has been until this point and rehearse how you want to be in the future. If tomorrow you have the same situation, how will you act? How will the vision, the ideal version of yourself do? How will your highest self behave and act like that and be delusional about it? So you have to, instead of being everything goes wrong for me, poor little me, this person is thinking I'm so stupid. No, you have to think I'm great, I'm doing great, this is a great day, I'm achieving my goals, I'm a super achiever, and everything goes right for me. And lastly, befriend yourself. This is super important. I always say, if you're going to be 24/7 with yourself, you better be your best friend. You know? Do you want to be your enemy? Who wants to be that? You better be your best friend. If you're going to be 24/7 with yourself for the rest of your life, you better be your best friend. So if you've befriended yourself, it means you are my bestie now, and I wish you have a really good week.